Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Wednesday, January 24th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do create multiple hypotheses. Nobody can tell you what the market's going to do. Therefore, we create trade plans based on the normal auction, and then wait to see who's in control and then execute the plan that best suits the market. We do create two alternative plans for expansion when we go into price discovery, as we've been doing. And those are our Hypo 3s and our Hypo 4s. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email, quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, in the pre-market session. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday we were looking for a rotational day with an upside bias. If we held above the 3650, and basically balancing out and creating price acceptance higher. And we got a nice Gaussian distribution above the prior day range. We opened auction just inside of range, immediately went down and tested this little LVN, broke out. It looked like they were going to go right into Hypo 3. Seller stepped in, rotated us back down to our trade level, down at the 31 area, and then we had a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky that led the way up into making a new all-time high in the break of the IB, and then we basically went sideways as we accepted this value higher. That set up for a continuation move overnight, and so far in the Globex, we pretty balanced until we got into the European session, and then Europe just grinded us higher, and we're currently just put in a new all-time high. This is an unequalized all-time high. We continue to push on it. So we're likely to come back and test this area during the course of the RTH session. Not necessarily in this particular RTH session coming up, but lately it has been that we're taking out that unequalized Globex all-time high in the next session. Usually it's a session or two later, but this market has got still tank left in the still gas left in the tank. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. Start on the monthly, look at where we are within the time frame. I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. These are the moving averages you'll see on all my larger macro charts. And basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for slope and separation. Where are we within the time frame, the periodicity, with the trend? Do we got good slope and separation, strength of trend? Are we coming down and challenging the trend by testing the 9 or breaking the 9? Are we, getting a possible trend change with the break of the 20? You can see that the monthly, this month is the largest range so far. Our range today just actually expanded a little bit more. I believe it's now up to 175. Is it 175? 175 and a quarter. The closest month next to that was the November month on the election, so November 2016, and that was 185 and a quarter. This is just a very, very strong. No sign of this this trend changing. Going to the weekly, you can see the same thing. good slope, good separation. Price is paralleling the 9 quite nicely on the weekly. Going to the daily. Again, all the macro picture is we are nowhere close to even challenging the trend. We can come down into the 28.11 and a quarter, and we still do not violate the trend on the daily. Our month low is the 28.02, so we haven't tested back to the 2800, and here we are trading at 49. Just think about this. 2668 was the close of 2017, and we're coming up on almost 200 points in the first month. Not even the first month. That is just incredible. Going to the 4-hour, you can see that again, good slope, good separation, trend is up. All the risk right now is still to the upside, even though you would think it would be to the downside. Going to the 30-minute, same thing, good slope, good separation, prices paralleling the 9 quite nicely. No sign of this giving up. We do have a naked cross down here at the 28.39.50. So mark that down on your chart. If we get below the, they're saying 42.75, but that would be where I'd be looking to short into the 40.50, the naked VPOC from yesterday. But if we get below that, the main target below is going to be down here at this naked cross down here. And then going to the 15-minute, you can see again, good slope and separation. We are getting a bit of a technical gap against the 9 here. Pull back to the 28.46.75 area would not be out of the question. It's going to be, I think that's going to be roughly around the half gap. And last but not least, just going to the 5-minute. Oh, I keep forgetting I gotta set my settings shorter in terms of the amount of data that I download when I go to the 5-minute. Just gonna take a minute to load up. So while we're waiting for that, let's just take a look at the news. We've got 6 minutes. We've got house pricing index coming out month over month, year over year, and the house price index for November. And then in 51 minutes, we have manufacturing PMI, market composite PMI, services PMI. That's at 9:45 Eastern. And then 10 o'clock will be the big one, which will be the existing home sales, and then crude inventory at 10:30. At 1 o'clock, we've got the 5-year note auction, and that's pretty much it for the scheduled news. So again, on the 5-minute, same thing. Good slope, good separation, very strong trend up. There is a naked cross down here on the 5-minute at 44.50. So again, a break of the 20 at the 46.75. I'd be targeting this naked cross down here. So let's take a look at the structure. You can see that we broke out of this balance, 2 days ago, made the big move up. Yesterday, we balanced above the prior day, accepted price higher at the 40.50. Our 3-day microcomposite, you can even just make it the 2-day because, that's where we had more overlapping. But again, microcomposite values being accepted higher up in the 28.40.50. Our value area extends down to the 28.26.25 and then up to the high from yesterday at the 44.75. We're into the 50s. There's the first test of the 28.50s, and we're going to be opening auction out of range and out of value. So taking a look at the overnight structure, triple distribution setting up. We've got an LVN right here at the 47.50. That becomes a trade level. There's not much to guide us up here because there is nothing up here. But of course, we've got the overnight VPOC, which is higher than the prior session VPOC, which was down at 40.50. So our Globex VPOC is basically, is it 44 even, just inside of the prior RTH session. And then, this is what I was watching right here, which was going to be this 42.75 because it's the value area. And this is a very valid value area. So I'll be watching the 44.75, of course, for move down to the overnight VPOC, but I'll be also looking to see if they come down into the value. Because if they get inside the value from yesterday, because of the price acceptance, we're likely to see an 80% destination trade and a trip through value all the way down to that 37.50. And remember, we've got a naked cross there at 39.50 on our 39.50 on our 30-minute chart. And then, of course, the value area low, and then the range low. And all our targets remain the same. Currently, we're still making new highs. Off of the low overnight, our 20-period daily full session average to range is running at 1975. So off of the low overnight of 36.75, our upside daily ATR target is up at 56.50. So we still have room to go higher without expanding our average true range. Now, currently we have a high of 50, 50 and a quarter. Again, this is a unequalized high. It's put in the Globex. It's tended to be retested in the RTH session. But off of this current high of 50 and a quarter, our downside daily ATR target now becomes 30.50. Is that right? That can't be right. 50 and a quarter, 1975. Yeah, 30.50. So we've got range capabilities to take us down to that 30.50. Come on. Okay, and then there's nothing else really to have. We've got a all-time unequalized high in the Globex high. Actually, let's do it that way. Delete and go with 50 and a quarter. I don't know how many times we've been doing this lately. That our overnight high is our unequalized Globex high. And of course, we've got gap rules now. We've got some time we get another 30 minutes, but just for approximation, we're trading right now 48.50. The close from the prior day was 39.50. So our half gap fill is going to be roughly 44, or our overnight VPOC. And it's just an approximation because we don't know we're going to open. We still have 30 minutes. And the size of that gap being 48.50 is 9 points. So there's a low probability that we fill that gap. But lately, the low probabilities have been playing out more and more with this unbelievable historic move up. So in terms of my hypotheses for the day. My hypo 1 is going to be an open auction, out of range, out of value, a move up to equalize the all-time high, put in a new all-time high, find sellers and start working our way down to this half gap fill, maybe even poke into the prior day. But I'm looking for basing to happen between the 44 and the 42.50 and then start grinding up and basically getting a rotational day again as we slowly grind this market higher with no end in sight. So that's hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction, out of range, seeing responsive selling on the open, a move down into the 44 area, possibly even the 42. But if we do break that 42, I'm looking for them to come down here. So it's kind of a large range to look for buyers to step in, but it's possible that they could come down and close that gap. But basically, somewhere between the 44 and the 40 area, I'm looking for a basing area and a grind up towards that all-time high, and taking it out late in the day as a late day probe. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is going to be a gap and go. Failure to close the range gap and the half gap against the naked close, and a push up into new all-time highs and up towards that daily upside ATR target in the 56.50 area, and then finding sellers somewhere up here and rotating down and closing somewhere between 50 and 52. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a take back day. Failure to take out the all-time high or just take it out and find immediate responsive selling, rotate us down into value, chop in value, and then fail below the 37.50 and push us down towards the 32.30 area and late day probe down towards this 28 area. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. Again, the risk is still to the upside. Don't let anybody tell you or try to call the top, because nobody knows. This can stay way overbought and extended. The RSI is just incredible, and it just continues to remain, overbought. Going to gold. Gold made the move we've been waiting for. Oops. And broke out of this balance. We were watching that 39 area yesterday. We said if it broke out of the 39 area to look for it to go up into the 41, 42. We held that 39 overnight, and here we are coming up into our next big target that we were talking about in the 55, 60 area, and just continuing to push out. This last rotation was $22.80 on the last rotation. That we haven't seen a counter rotation of $3.50. On this latest move up in gold. So looking for it to push into the 50 area. If we get below the 49, then look for them to come back to the 41, 42 area. Anything below 38, then I'm thinking that we'll come right back into balance and back into the 33, 34 area, and probably try to base again there. But we are in price discovery on gold with the main target above at 55.60. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.